can we just pause and talk about menopause for a minute? I'm in my office and having a great preparation and work day for a few events I've got coming up, and then I get a hot flush, or what I like to call a power surge. So I don't know where you're at in your life, or your pre-menopause, perimenopause, menopause, post-menopause chapter in life. And we get so many, like we just get blessed with all of these chapters as if one chapter is not enough. Okay, so, and I decided I'm just going to just take a minute. I'm going to talk about this because I don't think that we talk about this enough, because menopause is a massive part of a woman's life. It means many things. The impact is 24/7. And is there anything we can do about it? And if there is, what is that? And so I have found a couple of things that are really working for me. I'm not a believer in taking any kind of hormonal medication. That does not mean to say that I don't think that you shouldn't be taking it, because your body is your body, and I am not anybody to tell you how to run your body. You're not anybody to tell me how to run my body, right? This is the thing, it's our bodies. We've got to work with our body and be in tune with her. And man, I had a real wake-up call. It was the 26th of October, 2024, and I had a convulsive seizure. It nearly killed me. And that was my wake-up call. I thank God that I survived it, because I have taken my health very seriously since then. I mean, I am a champagne bubbles kind of girl. I haven't touched bubbles or any kind of alcohol since the 26th of October. Call it 27th was day one. No alcohol, no sugar, no processed food, no junk food, and I love my food. Not because, and I'm not saying this is what you have to do. What I am saying is, you don't need to wake up the way that I did. You do not have to wait for a wake-up call the way that I did. I barely survived it, and it changed everything for me. But you don't have to wait for that wake-up call. In fact, it's very sad that people don't actually survive some of their health wake-up calls. What do we have if we don't have our health, right? What do we have if we're not alive, or if we're incapacitated, or if we are disabled somehow? That our wealth is our health. I mean, it's the central point to everything. And so I'm not going to go on a tangent about that. What I am going to say is that we don't talk enough about menopause. Such a beautiful day. The birds are singing. I'm surrounded by the mountains. I live in one of the most beautiful countries in South Africa, in the world, in my opinion. I've traveled 44 countries. And I think back to last year, which was 2024, when my health was like on a roller coaster, boy. Like, it seemed to be picking up the pace. And my body broke up with me, basically, for a minute, and said, if you don't take care of us, then I'm out. And I don't blame her. And so since then, I've lost 11 kgs. What's that? I don't know, it's like 24, 25 pounds maybe. I'm not focused on weight loss, because I've done enough of that. I'm focused on health gain. And that I flipped the switch, and that flip has made all the difference. I've dropped 11 kgs. I am sleeping like an angel. I've gone from struggling with constipation and gut issues my whole life. And I've dabbled, right? I've dabbled with my health. I've flirted with good health and strong health and vitality. I haven't gone all in. And now I'm all in. But I just stopped just a minute ago, and I got this power surge, this hot flush. They just came back recently, like a few days ago. I'm like, what is that? Because here's what happens with menopause. I don't know about you, but I have, when I had it a couple of years ago, I felt like somebody had hijacked my body, that a foreigner had just taken me, kidnapped me, and that I was somebody else operating in the body that I recognized. But I felt like I went a little bit crazy. I don't know if you have had those feelings. Never mind the hot flashes where you've got to get, you get hot and cold and hot and cold. That's so irritating. That's really just annoying. But I felt incapacitated. I felt like my ability to handle stress really plummeted, and I've had a lot of stress in my life for a number of years now. But there was specifically about 2 years where I felt like this is on the next level. And I felt, obviously, your weight goes up, right? This whole thing in the middle is like a tire that just won't go away. And as your weight goes up, your confidence goes down, your energy goes down, your productivity goes down, and it just feels like this really unfair thing that happens to women, that we just are like shoved onto this playground, and good luck. Some days will be okay, but other days not so much, And so I got with my health coach. A very good friend of mine is, as far as I'm concerned, the best in her industry. She is a Whole Foods plant-based specialist. She's on the member of the PCRM in the USA, the Practitioners Committee for Responsible Medicine. She's the only non-surgically degreed person. She's not a doctor, she's not a surgeon, but doctors and surgeons send people her way when they can't figure stuff out, which I find very interesting. She's a specialist in food, and she's a specialist in understanding that godly food into a godly body produces godly results. I'm not trying to convert you to vegan. By the way, vegan is not necessarily healthy. Oreos are vegan. Coca-Cola is vegan. I still love Coca-Cola. I don't touch it because I'm taking my health seriously. But I get it, okay? I'm not this naturally self-disciplined, amazing, like focused kind of person who's got like it all together. I am going to share some before and after results with you, however, because we have got to get serious about this conversation. We have got to get serious about our health and about menopause and about tools and strategies with which to do life when menopause hits, because it puts a pause on things, and then it seems to put a real triple pace on things as well. So the weight gain and the can't think straight and the brain fog and the can't sleep at night, and then putting on, getting hot and cold 27,000 times in a day and plummeting energy and all kinds of issues, man. And it brings your menstruation to an end, right? Like, so it messes with your periods for, I don't know, sometimes months, sometimes years. And after my seizure last year, I'm like, I think I'm done. I'm done with not being in tune with my body. I'm done being on the back foot, and I'm actually in control. I'm actually at the wheel, the driver wheel. And I feel like I'm the passenger in the back being thrown around by this crazy driver when I'm actually the driver. Okay, so here's what I did. I went plant-based, and I've done it before. I've tested and I've tried and I've tracked this. I went plant-based. So that's whole foods, okay? That doesn't mean vegan. Whole foods plant-based is, and I'm not a big believer in supplements either. I'm quite the skeptic actually, but I've got whole foods, plant-based supplements, and I went plant-based. Well, how interesting that my period of the last, let's say, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 months, maybe a year, which has been sporadic, obviously it's been on its way out, just came to an end, just like that. And I've had no spotting, no this, no that, it just came to an end. The other thing that happened is I started sleeping like an angel. And I haven't been the best sleeper for the longest time. I mean, when I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, I sleep. And 7.5 hours seems to be the magic number for me. I sleep. I maybe wake up once or twice, but I am a light sleeper. I used to wake up 30, 40 times in a night, easy, and just roll over the whole night. Probably the best gift of this whole change I've made in my life is my stomach, and how I am a pooping machine now. I poop when I eat. And I know that is maybe TMI for some of you, but for those of you who've really struggled with constipation and gut issues, and you'll know the pain of that emotionally, physically, and mentally, it really knocks your confidence and it just knocks everything out of you. It knocks you right down to the ground. The gift of being able to go to the loo when I eat, like within 3 to 4 to 5 minutes afterwards, is heaven sent. And you'll know exactly what I mean when I say that. Like, I have had surgery and barium enemas and you name it, I've had it. And my body is functioning now as it should be. And so all I'm doing is plant-based whole foods. I have stayed mostly raw, and people will go like, what? Raw plant-based? Like, that's radical. Well, actually, what the world calls radical is actually biblical. God made man, and then guess what he made next? After he made everything? Green plants, yep, to sustain us. So it's actually not radical, it's actually biblical. And I just want you to, years ago, I tested this on myself. I'm like, I want to just see how my body responds to this stuff. When I came across this program, I'm like, it was probably it was the strongest 11 months I had of my life. But I was like, I like chicken, okay? I like fish, I like meat. My body doesn't like it so much, it doesn't like me. So I've eventually given it up. I'm not saying that you have to, I'm just saying we got to talk about this stuff. We got to put options and strategies and tools in front of ourselves to make sure that we understand everybody is different. My body is different to yours. Okay, I've had a breast reduction and I'm still a 32E. After all my weight though, I think I'm down to a D now, which is fantastic, my weight loss. But So what happened when I went plant-based? 11 kgs in 4 months. What's that? November, December, January, February. Yep. 24 point something pounds in 4 months. Where for 4 years, I couldn't get rid of the weight. It was just this tire, this belt around my middle and my butt and everywhere that just wouldn't move. And it just felt, because stress is the link. Stress is the killer here. When we are in a place where there is not an unusual level of stress, and because life does bring stress, of course that's life, right? But I'm talking about a heightened level of stress. If you add menopause on top of that, that can kill you, my friend. It has killed people before. It has killed many women. It almost killed me. Menopause should be able to come in, and we should be able just to manage it with some tools and some help and some support and some coaching and, a couple of things that are proven to be established tools that can help us through it. But when you have stress at the middle of this, and I'm talking about a heightened, unusual, unhealthy level of stress, you're looking for trouble. You're inviting a health wake-up call that you might not wake up from. And I hope that you are catching this message today, and you are not catching it by mistake, by the way. You didn't come across this message by mistake. And if you've been praying for an answer, don't be one of those people like, well, let me just go and pray about that too. Stop praying, stop thinking. Prayer is powerful, but faith without action is dead. Stop thinking. Your thinking and overthinking is your prison. Your key is taking action. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you're holding back on, whatever you are sitting on the fence on because you're scared of making mistakes, scared of failure, scared of all of these things, you're on the fence. Your thinking and overthinking and analysis paralysis of everything is your self-made prison. Action is the key that will get you out of that prison. I am a massive advocate of action. I would rather take action, fall on my face, screw up and make a fool of myself than sit on the sidelines and never try. That is just a scarier alternative. So what happened? I dropped 11 kgs, I don't know what it is, 24 pounds in about 4 months. My mood stabilized. I started sleeping well. I go to the toilet 4 or 5 times a day because I graze. I have small multiple times a day. My period came to a clean, swift end. So that's over. And that in itself, remember, has got a lot to do with being a woman. Like, yes, I know, maybe you've had kids but when it comes to an end, it's a bit of a loss as well. Like, it means you can't have a baby again. And at 52, almost 53, I would have a baby tomorrow if I could, just like that. But I think biologically those days are over for me. So it came to a swift end. There's none of this like ongoing spotting and whatever it is. And meal prep is easy, okay? So it's very easy. It's fresh produce, and sometimes I have a spinach-based pasta, and then other times I'll have quinoa with veg, and then other times I'll have roast veg with, I happen to really like vegetables. What I'm saying is you need a strategy, my friend. We have to stop, and we've got to talk about menopause and what it's doing. It can make you feel like a crazy person. And then what do you wear, okay? So what do? I'm a confidence coach, and I teach the power of personal style, how to get up, dress up, put your best foot forward, how to build a beautiful wardrobe on a budget, customized to your body and your lifestyle. But secretly, I teach my clients how to fall in love with the woman in the mirror, because that right there is the game changer. But how do you do that when your hormones are raging like wildfire? And so, of course, it's a no-brainer. The science is out there. Do the research, okay? You have to educate yourself. The hormones in animals are going to mess with the hormones in your body. That's what happens when all of these hormones collide, when menopause begins. And so we have choices to make, and we have decisions to make, and we've got options in front of us. I like to say every day is Tuesday. I get to choose every day what I'm going to do about my health, about my life, about how I parent, about my business. These are my choices. And it's not to say that the right choices are always the easy choices, but oftentimes the difficult road is often the right road. And this hasn't been as difficult for me because of my wake-up call. The one that I survived, the convulsive seizure that I woke up from. Thank the Lord that happened. That was my wake-up call. And that has made it easy for me to switch things around. Will I have champagne again in my life? Of course. I mean, I made a commitment. 1 year, no beer. I'm not going to touch alcohol or sugar or anything for 1 year. Not 3 months or 6 months. Like, I was told, okay, give it 7 or 8 weeks and maybe go back to, no, 1 year. Maybe I'll go back to bubbles. Maybe I won't. I'm pretty happy not having sugar in my diet anymore because I just feel better. Never mind the weight that doesn't pile up, I just feel better. And processed food, like, listen, I am a burger and fries kind of girl, okay? Like, you give me a veggie burger, or when I used to eat meat, like a beautiful Rocco Mama's or like a steer burger dripping in sauce, and like, I'm a takeout kind of girl, I'm a junk food kind of girl. But I feel better off it. So does my body. I don't think there's anything wrong with going, I am going to have a big ass veggie burger dripping in cashew mayo and all kinds of things soon. It's got to be gluten-free bread, because since I gave up gluten, the weight has fallen off. All of these things are in front of us as decisions. And so you got to step back and go, am I going to be on the back foot with this? Am I going to just be one of those women who's like, oh my gosh, there's hot flashes, and like just complain about it for the next 3 or 7 or 6 or 5 years? Or am I going to make some changes and get in the driver's seat and take proper control and drive where I want to drive and be on the front foot with this thing? Because I don't like being on the back foot. I don't like being exhausted. I don't like my energy crashing. I don't like having hot flashes. This has come back now 3-4 days ago. So I'm like, what is that about? I'm going to ask my health coach. How come my hot flashes have come back? It wakes me up in the night. Maybe only 3 times, but that's 3 times more than I used to be waking up in the night. I'm having such beautiful sleep right now for like 5 months. I don't want that compromised anymore. So now I'm on this like, hey, I had this perfect sleep and now it's been interrupted 3 times in the night. And it's happening in the day. Like, it happens not often, but I've gone from like no menopause, like a crazy menopause, to going plant-based, no menopause, to what? Now it's happening in the daytime, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a day, 6 times a day, which is a lot for me. So I'm going to talk to her and say, let's have a look at what I'm eating, and can you identify anything that's going on here, and see what that's about. I'm tracking things, and you can't make a decision if you don't measure things. You can't measure them if you don't track them. You got to take a magnifying glass to these things. Anyway, all of that to say, it's Tuesday, and if you are looking for tools and strategies, I am not about to convert you to veganism. That's not what I'm going to do. But on the 12th of April, I'm running a webinar that's free and open for women. Come and bring your friends, bring your sister, bring your aunt, bring your mom, bring your whoever it is, bring your daughter. And we're going to be talking about a wealth of health. What does it look like to be fighting fit at 42, 45, 47, 51, 56, 63, 74? What does it look like? Because we are young, man. You're young. You've got a lot of life to live and a lot of love to give. And you have a spirit of beauty, a spirit of adventure. You've got a spirit of excellence inside of you, a spirit of courage and power inside of you. I can't stand seeing you on the fence for as long as you've been on the fence. The fence is the devil's playground. It is laced with fear and indecision and doubt and procrastinators and perfectionists. And in a year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, you're going to say, flip, I wish I'd attended that webinar. I wish I had done something about it, because 3 years later, here I am in the same position. Actually, it's even worse. We have choices in front of us, and we can make changes, and those changes can be dynamic and they can be beautiful. You can learn. I can help you. It's easy. Style is just a skill. I can help you to build a beautiful wardrobe, to declutter your closet, because a cluttered closet is a cluttered mind. You are too good, too smart to be opening a closet full of clothes and saying, I have nothing to wear. You're better than that. Style is just a skill. I can teach you how to simplify and systemize your wardrobe. It's easy. I can teach you how to learn to love the skin you're in. That's a little bit harder, but it's possible. Thousands of women before you have done it, and you won't be the first, you won't be the last. I was my first client years ago. I was my first client on all of these topics. But when it comes to confidence, menopause has to have a light shone on it more than it does. Menopause has to have more conversation, more tools, more strategies. It can't just be deal with it or hormone treatment. That's not the only way. There's always a better way. And if you're a woman of faith, you know that there is a better way. Choose life, okay? So how are you living your life? How are you treating your body? How are you dressing? How are you showing up? You have a spirit of beauty inside of you, and you are called to arise and shine, my friend. And if menopause is knocking you the freak down, or anything else, chronic medication, maybe you're on antidepressants. There are so many women. I work with women every day. So many women struggling in marriage, in business, with parenting, with health. Doesn't matter what your struggle is. What matters is that you do something about it. The one thing that separates you from everybody else is 95, 96% of people will stay on the fence, falling into analysis paralysis, Thinking, praying, thinking, talking, wishing, dreaming, thinking. And then there's people like you who will take action. People like me who take action. Action brings results. Analyzing it doesn't bring results. It's helpful in a process of action. Action brings results. So in the link below are the details and the Zoom link for the 12 April webinar, A Wealth of Health. What does it look like to be fighting fit? And what options do we have when it comes to menopause? What is there to do? What can we do? And who's got the expertise to help us? And I've got some answers for you, and those answers that I don't have, I'm going to direct you to a woman who does have them. Listen to my English, okay? That's menopause. Must be menopause, like messing up my vocab. This is a serious conversation, but we can get serious results as well because we are women. I mean, we are freaking phenomenal, if you ask me. I think women are the most incredible species on the planet. We wear so many different hats. We're so capable. We're helpers, we're lovers, we're nurturers, we're educators, we're creators. We can do anything. And so we've got to get in the driver's seat, okay? You've got to get off the back foot in the driver's seat and take charge of your life. Take charge of your closet. Style is just a skill. Doesn't matter who you are or what you do for a living. Semi-retired, retired, owner of 3 businesses, corporate America, engineer, nurse. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters that you are getting up, dressing up, and being the bold light on a hill that you know you are called to be. To be confident, to trust yourself, to go out there and add value to your corner of the world. That's who you are. So if any of this resonates with you, if you are looking for a solution, if you are looking for tools and a strategy, not just hope is not a strategy. If you're looking for practical, powerful, relevant, applicable tools, join me on the 12th of April 2025. And if you're catching this afterwards, then get in touch, comment below and ask for the replay. And we will send you the replay because there is a better way and you are called to arise and shine. Don't let menopause or your weight or anything dim your light. It's time you stop dressing down and blending into the background. It's time that you stop hiding. It's time that you start living your life, not surviving, but really living your life. It's time that you stop, write this down. Stop sacrificing your life at the altar of man. I'm going to say it again. Stop sacrificing your life at the altar of man because that's what you've been doing. If you're in hiding because of your dress size or because of how you look, you've come into agreement with the world that you don't look good enough. That's why you don't feel good enough. That's why you're sitting on the fence, scared to take action, of making mistakes. That is bowing down to the fear of man. You need to decide who you are bowing down to, my friend. Yep, it's a very, very powerful decision you need to make. You came into agreement with the world, you can break that agreement with the world. Think about it. You're not living your best dreamed up life because of what some stranger might think about your butt or your cellulite or your upper arms. You know how crazy that is? Come on now. It's time to get out of that. It's time to break those chains. Get the key that is action. Walk out of your own self-imprisoned state of mind. And let's do some life together. Join me on the 12th of April. And again, if you're catching this afterwards, I'm happy to send you the replay. Or join us at LindaPaige.com. The details are in the post here somewhere. You are beautiful. You're powerful. You have something inside of you that is there for a reason. It's been laid on your heart by God to do something in this world. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You have purpose. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And we get to figure that out. And we get to go and create it. And we get to have fun and adventure. No matter what kind of hardship you've been through, your past does not dictate your future. Let's talk about it. Let's get together. Let's have a conversation. Let's take action. Let's get some results. Let's work it out together. Let's screw up together. But let's do it together because we are stronger together.